All right. Well, guys, this sucks. We usually like to start off with a more upbeat, uplifting kind of a situation here, and well, we're like ending this year off with some
A lot
crazy
of
news.
a
So,
lot of celebrity deaths.
a lot of celebrity deaths. So, if you, I guess all of our viewers and whatnot, they should know by now. But Carrie Fisher has passed away,
Mm.
and what was it? Just yesterday, or the day before, George Michaels passed away. A lot of celebrity deaths in this past couple of months. It's been crazy, but
Yeah, she died today.
yeah. So, and I guess I want to just I mean, first and foremost of anything, I mean, you give your pay your respects to family. You
She
you
wasn't
look
just
at
a movie star. She was a person. She had a family.
exactly. You think of the person first. You try to think of the person first, but in reality, the way
She'll always be Princess Leia.
Princess, she'll always be Princess Leia. So then immediately the selfishness kicks in, and people, especially Star Wars fans, we immediately go,
Did she
"What does
finish
this
it?
mean?"
This is just like the Heath Ledger, unfortunately. And I did confirm she did finish her work in the next Star Wars
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
So
yeah. That was complete. They've been wrapped up. Yeah. Um. So I guess I mean just getting it out the way. My condolences and everything. That sucks for a woman to put. I mean, because nowadays, people are living a lot longer, and people are, and so even 60 is
yeah, she was
considered
young. She was very.
young nowadays. Um,
George Michaels died the other day. He was only 53.
53, young. Um, the other singer, other actor who just recently
The
died,
guy from the
Adam
Chris
Sandler.
Rock show, or Everybody Hates Chris, I think it was, or whatever. One of the comedians from that show just died too.
Hmm. Now that I missed.
Yeah, it just
So,
happened. Just happened.
wow. So immediately going into it, I know she just wrapped up episode 8. But after a few minutes of thinking about it, I thought, okay, I know she just wrapped up episode 8, but then it's like, how did that story go, or what was the plan moving forward? Was Leia the next one to go? Was Luke the next one to go in next episode? Where none of them expected to go.
No, I would say no, just because I read that she was planned on being in episode 9. So I think they're gonna have to kill her character off somehow.
But there's a lot of rumors out there that even Harrison Ford is expected to make some kind of a thing in episode 8. I mean, we're probably looking at them looking into old footage or recordings and
Flashbacks.
stuff like flashbacks, things like that. So any of them have a potential of even making some kind of a return. But if Carrie Fisher, let's assume first, let's say Princess Leia was to survive episode 8, and was meant to even continue on after episode 9. What do they do now?
Well, spoilers for those of you who haven't seen it. Go ahead and stop now. And this is in regards to Rogue One. 3, 2, 1, go. We do get to see Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One, and you can kind of tell it's a CGI rendering, but they did it. If she wasn't moving or trying to speak, if you just caught a glimpse of her, you would say that that was actually Carrie Fisher, and they had just made her
I,
look
I want to
younger.
I want to say that didn't they use her daughter to do that stand-in?
It looked like it was completely CGI, kind of like the commander, one of the commanders in the Death Star.
Yeah, yeah. Tarkin, the guy who played Tarkin, but
That
no,
guy threw me off. I was like, "Holy shit, he looks good for his age," and I was like, "No, wait,
he
no,
died.
no,
No, but no,
yeah."
that was a stand-in. An actor stood in for that, and then
They
they put
rendered over
Tarkin
him.
over.
They
So
did a
they did.
good job, man. Good job, guys.
Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about moving forward. Here's another bummer thing that I also, as a Star Wars fan, hit my brain. I mean, a few seconds after, hearing about Leia's death. I mean, Leia, hearing about Carrie Fisher's death, immediately turning into a selfish person, thinking about Star Wars. Then immediately thinking, what are they going to do moving forward? Then I was thinking, well, what if Leia's character? What if Leia does die in episode 8? Then wouldn't that solve the problem instantly? Then I was thinking, damn, I'm such an asshole for so but it's not me being and I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. It's just
He's trying
I
to
don't
spin something light on something dark.
exactly. I'm trying not to. I'm hoping that they won't have to do the whole Fast and Furious thing. You
I
know,
would, honestly, I'm kind of conflicted about it because I think just based on the graphics of capabilities we have now, I think if they were able to find somebody who could do a faithful voice rendering, that they could in fact keep Princess Leia alive in the story using the rendering. Uh,
Right.
I think so. I think they should. I think for Carrie Fisher's honor, I think they should continue her character and not kill it
Well,
off.
well, I'll agree and disagree. I want
It's
them to
on the
stay.
fence. It's
I
one of those
want them
weird
to
things.
stay on. I want them to stay on the path that they planned. And if that means that Carrie Fisher's character Leia was meant to survive and keep going and be a teacher for whatever or a leader for however many movies, then yeah, let's do it. Well, they have to. They're gonna do it. They did it for Tarkin. They did it for a lot all these old characters. They would definitely keep doing it. Like like for example, if Harrison Ford had passed away like 5, 10 years ago or something, of course we would have seen a digital that character, that role would have probably been very small, or maybe they would have said Han Solo died a long time ago, but we would have seen something. We would have seen something, or maybe they would have said that his son killed him a long time ago and went full Sith or something like that. Who knows? But we would have seen something. I'm just my selfishness keeps kicking in. I keep thinking about. I'm not thinking about Star Wars as a whole. That's secondary, but I'm really just thinking about the character. I like the character so much. I want to see how they planned on because they plan on ending all three of the main characters, Luke, Leia, and Han. They already got Han out the way. Um, at their age, I mean, it makes sense. Of course, these guys were going to pass away or retire, and
But
eventually officially
isn't
pass
Luke
away.
supposed to be the most powerful character in the entire series right now? Luke's supposed to be
Oh yeah,
the
his character is
powerful.
the most powerful, being on in the universe right now.
That's awesome, though,
Allegedly.
isn't it? Luke Skywalker is the most powerful being in the whole universe right now.
Yeah, that brings up another can of worms. I don't know, guys, if you've seen the can of worms thing that I recorded the clone Vader theory that I have, but I was also thinking of that too. Is going back to Leia. Does this mean that I always assumed that maybe they would put a lightsaber in Leia's hand one of these days? I was just hope, or maybe we
They
would see some kind of
may in episode 8. You never know.
I said, you know what? I think you convinced me on something. If they ever did, when they finally decide to retire the character and say she
Kill her in a
died,
saber battle.
or kill her. No, no. I say I want to see a flashback or a recording of Luke trying because he promised. He said he was going to teach her more and show her how to use her powers more. I want to see her like using a lightsaber for a little while. Maybe she gets frustrated and go, "Man, this isn't me," and just puts it down and like something, just something to kind of honor her a little bit more. That would be kind of cool. Seeing like some kind of old, like a younger Leia wielding the lightsaber, getting her butt kicked, like yeah,
And the golden bikini.
yeah, I wish, but
We
no,
all know what bikini we're talking about.
hey, and and that's another one of the things that made Carrie Fisher a legend, man. That gold bikini, that was the coming of age moment for a lot of guys back in the day. They were like, what? What were your thoughts when you first saw the gold bikini?
You know, I saw it when I was a kid, but I don't think I appreciated it until I got older. And then it was actually not that long ago when I was looking at, a couple years ago when they were talking about the reboot of the series and where they are now, what they look like now, what they've done, and the before and after. And I saw apparently a very famous picture of her kind of going like this in the surf, like in a beach scene, and she's wearing the bikini, kind of jumping up in the air, and you
Yeah,
really get to see. Apparently, this is some kind of famous picture of her. I don't
yeah.
remember her being that beautiful, but apparently, I guess back in her prime, she was like stunning, especially in that
Yeah.
golden
A lot,
bikini.
a lot of women, a lot of models, and a lot of actresses back in the day. With the I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's just the way things are nowadays, where people are kind of more health conscious, and people are trying to be more glamorous and whatnot. I'll let the chauvinist guy come out of me a little bit. A 20-year-old or a 30-year-old back in the 70s or the 60s or whatever would look like a 60 or 70-year-old today.
Majorly, but not all. There are some exceptions.
There are some, but there were some exceptions back then. There were just women that no
They were
matter what the
stunning.
age, they're stunning. I mean, but those women back then, because I feel like because we're more health conscious nowadays, I think back then those women stood out even more. They probably were called supermodels back then.
The
I think
Hollywood women, because they had
let me say it like this:
diet
supermodels
and
back then are
trainers
probably
and
just regular models today.
There were like the lady from Breakfast at Tiffany's. What was her name? Was it Catherine Hepburn? Catherine
Yeah,
Hepburn. She was stunning.
yeah. It was, she was, yeah. But with the gold bikini thing, I mean, Leia, I mean, Carrie Fisher in order was always a pretty lady, when in those movies. But it
By
was
the
always,
Return of the Jedi, she was
I mean, yeah, I mean, even,
yeah, she was stunning.
but even in the movie, I feel like the movie kind of downplayed her looks
Sexuality a little bit,
a little
yeah.
bit, even though she was looking stunning, like right there in front of the job and whatnot, and fine as hell. But it was always the pictures that was offset, like the one you showed.
Still
I never,
shots.
those pictures all shut it down. I mean, you were like, you could really see, like, whoa, I don't know
Well,
what it
because
is.
they had her hair up in buns and weird stuff, but when they had her hair down and
Yeah,
she's wearing a bikini, you're like, wow,
but
that
when
lady
she's in the
really was stunning.
water and got her hair on normal and whatnot, yeah, you could really see some features and whatnot. So I guess that's what us fans, us Star Wars fans, us movie, and just the movie fan of us, for me and Sean, that's immediately what us guys we go at. Like, oh man, sorry, sad to see that she's gone, man. She was so fine.
I remember hearing a couple days ago that she was pulled off of a plane. They thought cardiac arrest or a heart
Yeah.
attack, and they rushed to the hospital. So I've been kind of following it, and then I saw the thing on Yahoo first thing in the morning. I was looking because that's how I get my news, guys. I just look at Yahoo and the internet, and it said Carrie Fisher dead at 60, and I was like, I called Chris immediately, and I was like, Chris,
I purposely
Carrie Fisher died.
I purposely didn't want to even follow it. I mean, right after the whole thing with George Michaels and Alan Thicke and everything, I purposely said, you know what, I'm staying away from the TV. I'm staying away from all of these things because I feel like I'll jinx it. The way Sean said it was okay, probably just a little scare. My father had a little scare a couple of years ago, and he's fine now. I said, "Look,
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of days ago when she had the heart attack, but it was kind of like she's stable.
yeah, she was exactly." So I said, "You know what? I'm not even going to dwell on it. She's fine, hopefully." And then, boom,
Just like that.
just like that, and it sucks.
It does.
After and you know what, and not just Star Wars, man, because she, I used to like watching her interviews. And one thing that every time I would like the fact that a Star Wars movie would come out, whether she was in it or not, the one thing I would always look for was Carrie Fisher interview. She gave the greatest interview.
She was a pistol, man.
I mean, like, funny as hell. The book, she talked about the books that she wrote, but she would just kill on just on one-on-one conversations on the interviews, man. Anytime you had Carrie Fisher on TV, ratings to me felt like, oh man, they were about to go crazy because she was funny as hell.
I'd like to read a couple of the movies out that she was in that you guys may, or as long as Chris thinks is a good idea, that you guys may not have realized that she was in. Okay, her career kind of started off in 75 with a movie called Shampoo, and then of course her next big movie was in Star Wars, and she did the Strikes Back, all that, and then she was also in the Blues Brothers movie. She was in The Man with One Red Shoe, which I believe was with Tom Hanks. She was in The Burbs, another Tom Hanks movie.
Yes. You know what? Let me stop right there. That is my favorite Carrie Fisher movie besides Star Wars, The Burbs.
The Burbs. She was in When Harry Met Sally. She was in one of my favorite childhood movies, Drop Dead Fred. She was in Hook, which I don't remember her in, but apparently she was in Hook. She was also in.
What was the character?
She's credited as being the woman kissing on bridge. It's kind of an uncredited thing. She was in Austin Powers, the first one, the International Man of Mystery. She was a therapist. She was in Scream 3.
I remember that.
She was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
As a nun, I remember that. My third favorite Carrie Fisher movie.
She was in the Charlie's Angels Full Throttle movie.
Okay.
She was in White Lightning, which is a really messed up movie. She was in, of course, The Force Awakens and then Episode 8. But she also did a lot of television work. It's showing up, and you guys can Wikipedia Carrie Fisher. Shows her filmography and her, her TV career. It's a lot. I mean, she's been going. It looks like she's been pretty active. And I know that for you guys who may or may not know, she wrote a biography or had a biography written. She was strung out on drugs for a really long time because she got famous in Star Wars when, I don't know if you were aware how young she was. She was only like 19 years old. And then she went full blown zero to hero, and she got really hooked on drugs apparently for a long time.
Got into that life.
Yeah.
Apparently, also had an affair with Ford. Huh?
Yeah. She just admitted this recently.
They both willing to admit it now.
Yeah. Well, it's at this point he's been married. He's got kids.
Yeah.
And they're so distant from each other. It's almost kind of like, hey, Dad, you slept with Princess Leia, didn't you? And they're like, man, nah. He's like, we all know. We all know. Yeah, he did. He's like, all right, yeah, I hit that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's that's kind of funny though.
She sent him a copy of the book before she announced it, and she said he made a joke because he's got a good sense of humor. She says, "So what do you think?" And he's like, "Lawyer." So, so he didn't want, he was kind of like, "Oh, I don't really want you to tell, but okay, that's cool, whatever."
Exactly. It was so long ago. They're whatever relationships they're in right now and whatnot. They're not gonna. They're like, oh really? Oh wow, big news. It's like that's like Shia LaBeouf coming out telling us that he slept with what's her name, Megan Fox. Like,
did he?
Yeah.
Oh well, that don't surprise me. But it surprised me if she'd sleep with him.
Well, then he was on the rise.
I guess he was more popular.
Maybe they thought, but she was also still married at the time, or about to be married at the time. That was the controversy about it.
When I heard that she admitted to having an affair with Harrison Ford, the first thing I thought of was that scene where he's being frozen in the carbonite, and he says, and she says, "I love you," and he says, "I know."
And I heard that was Adam. Because that's what Han Solo would say.
That's what he said, right? He's like, "I know."
He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Here's my theory. Before we wrap it up, I feel like Blade Runner is what Han Solo was dreaming about while frozen in carbonite. Boom, crossover.
Man, we're gonna have to shoot a video on our expectations for Blade Runner, but I would request, and you guys can let us know if you agree with this. I think you haven't seen Blade Runner yet, still have you?
Nope.
You need to watch it before we have a discussion video about this movie, so you'll appreciate it or not appreciate it.
Blade Runner 2. I'm gonna go from Blade Runner and then immediately go to the movie.
Because you remember, real quick, you remember at the end of the trailer, it had a weird kind of vibe. That was very much like the first one, the music, the lights, the scenery, everything. So I'm really excited. But anyway, guys.
It looks like that he's going to make the world look exactly the way it did back. And he's not going to add to it a little bit. Well, maybe you can probably advance it a little bit since it is technically a little bit further. It
looked like there was going to be more daylight scenes in it, though. In the original one, there's there's dark. It was nighttime a lot of it.
There was no sunlight cast.
So yeah, guys.
Well, I can't wait, man. I mean, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher, man. She's a part of a great legacy, man. That's
she's a legend
from the original three, man. I can only imagine with Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. I haven't looked at any interviews and whatnot. It's been like a bummer, man. 2016 sucks, man.
Yeah, a lot of celebrity deaths, guys.
Yeah, no, man. Well, guys, that's what we us. You know what, we Star Wars fans, and just me and Sean, like I said, we're movie fans in general. So I mean, I know a lot of these videos are saying rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. The first thing they're going to mainly do is keep it clean, keep it PC, politically correct, and be like, let's talk about her life. And like, yeah, we're going to do that, but
she wouldn't want it all squeaky clean.
Yeah, we're going to be like, come on, man, what does this mean about the movie? And then like, oh man, wasn't she hot? I mean, because that's honestly.
She would appreciate hearing how hot she was. She
exactly.
would.
I mean, and she'd
be like, I know.
Exactly, I know. That's exactly how she would end it. And she had a great sense of humor about so she knows that us fans will never ever, real fans of Princess Leia will never disrespect Carrie Fisher. So I mean, that's all I got to say about that. So rest in peace, condolences to the family. Sorry to all of us Star Wars fans like me, hardcore like me. I know you guys are pretty bummed right now, and I guess let's look forward to enjoying her in one of her last performances on a big screen, or if not the last performance.
Probably the last performance, yeah.
Yeah, the next movie. So that's all I gotta say.
Go out with a bang, though, man.
Go out with a bang, big time. Let's do it.
Let's push this baby past $1 billion.
Let's kill this box office, man. You know what everybody's saying?
The Paul Walker effect.
Yeah, exactly. Because since Star Wars broke records because it was so long since we had a new Star Wars movie. That's why it was so big. Let's go out and let's honor Carrie Fisher and just kill it. Everybody watch that movie at least 20 times.
It's going to be more like the Brandon Lee effect. We'll call it that.
We'll call it the Brandon Lee. Yeah, it'll probably be renamed the the Fisher effect.
The Fisher effect. Yeah.
Let's do it, guys. So let's end it on that. And appreciate your time, Sean. Let's get out there. Let's go watch some Star Wars. Peace out, guys.